Hi, everybody, and welcome back. And once again, we're joined with Dr. Hart. Dr. Hart, thank you so much again for being with us.
Happy to be here.
Well, it's great to have you. And Dr. Hart, there's been a lot of chatter in the news and also in the forums about emotional intelligence and how emotional intelligence can really affect someone's day-to-day life, but also their career. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. And I can recommend a book, which is Emotional Intelligence 2.0 by Dr. Travis Bradberry and Janine Greaves. We actually give a copy of this book to everyone who graduates from the Alpha One training. And the book comes with two codes that can be used to take their online test of emotional intelligence. So we do it on day 1 at the start and day 7 at the end. And the remarkable results are that the average increase in emotional intelligence is 15.8 points. Now that is, it would be shocking to Dr. Bradberry and Janine Greaves because they are thinking that maybe if someone does 6 or 9 months of work, maybe they can go up 5 points. And we're seeing almost 16 points in a week. And that's just the average. So some people are even bigger increases than that. Now, the importance of EQ is described in some detail in this book. They call it the master skill for success. They point out that IQ, or intelligence, may account for 10% of success in life, or maybe at a stretch to 20%. But they've determined that EQ, emotional intelligence, accounts for nearly 60% of a person's success in life. Their actual number is 58%. And this translates quite directly into more money in the pocket of people who raise their EQ. For example, they've given this test all over the world in third world countries, second world countries, first world countries. And so the average increase, of course, is going to be relative to where they start. If you're using a salary base in Bangladesh or the Maldives or Pakistan or Sierra Leone or Switzerland or France or England or Germany or Canada or the United States or Japan, you're going to get different numbers. But the point is that there are more people living in poverty than there are living in a wealthy situation. And so this average increase of $1,300 more annual income for every 1 point you increase in your EQ is a global average. And if you are fortunate to live in a first world or second world country, you can expect your increase in income to be larger than $1,300 per point increase of EQ. But even if we use that number of $1,300 average annual income, if you multiply that 1,300 by 15.8, which is the gain in EQ, the average gain, that comes out to more than $20,000. This is higher than the cost of the premium double alpha trainings. And so a person could reasonably expect on average, just based on their emotional intelligence increase, to make more than they spent on the training in their first year following the training. And so these are, of course, the global averages, and we have reason to believe that in first and second world countries, people would do even better. So this skill is called the master skill for success, more important than IQ by maybe a factor of 3 to 6, maybe even. And we know that it increases profoundly. And by the way, in my research, the EQ increase is larger in the premium double training than it is in the premium single. In the double, people go into the chamber twice each day and they have more hours of feedback. And that seems to translate into bigger increases in emotional intelligence. So here's the book if you want to read up on it. Emotional Intelligence 2.0, Dr. Travis Bradbury and Gene Greaves. Any questions? Please ask.
Absolutely fascinating, Dr. Hart. And it makes sense that somebody spending more time doing the work would get greater results.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about EQ as it's relating in the world and how the alpha relates to EQ, is it just the increase in alpha?
If we go to Harvard Business Review, Daniel Goleman had an article there in 2000 in which he looked at they studied business styles in leaders around the world. And they found that there were 6 basic different styles, which ranged on one end from the extreme authoritarian, you'll do this because I'm the boss and I say so, to someone who's totally collaborative and won't do anything unless they build a consensus, and everything in between. And what they found was the most successful managers had access to all 6 of these different leadership styles and would use them appropriately with different individuals and in different situations, and maybe even combine them, carrot and stick kind of approach. And Daniel Goleman pointed out that in order to have the ability to apply usefully these different management styles, a person had to have high emotional intelligence to be able to shift from one style to another.
Absolutely amazing. You can see that when you meet great leaders, right? You can see how they can shift through. Well, as always, Dr. Hart, I know how busy you are. I really appreciate you taking the time when we're able to do these Q&As and answer the people's questions. So thank you so much.
Happy to get together with you, Doug. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tony Robbins. Listen, if you are looking to improve your brain, your psyche, your ability, your emotions, your ability to really maximize your performance, and you want to really dig into your brain, my dear friend, Dr. Jim Hart, and his BioCybernaut program is extraordinary. I've been through it myself. My wife, Sage, has. Members of my family have. And we found it to be truly extraordinary. But it is not for the faint at heart. Unless you're dead serious about really taking things to the next level, don't bother. We went through the Alpha program designed to maximize your ability to create alpha waves. And it was challenging, and it was incredibly rewarding. And I'd recommend it to anybody serious about improving the quality of their lives, or including the quality of their family lives as well. So check out Cybernaut, check out Dr. Jim Hart, and if you do, I think you'll be really, really pleased. And the entire time you are learning to think, and how you think these electrodes create sounds, and you learn how to put yourself in the zone of alpha. But it's a bitch. It's horrible. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody that wants easy experiences, but I'd recommend it to anybody that wants to grow immensely. And by the first day, I'm like, who do I got to shoot to get out of this thing? Oh, it's me. I'm the one that did this shit, right? But by the end of the week, all 3 of us were able to go into this state of alpha. And if you're familiar with alpha, the best way I can describe alpha is there's no problem that can't be solved in alpha. Because every problem that we have was created by us.
Thank you for being here and absorbing this information about the science of brainwaves and about the stories of people whose lives have been beneficially altered, improved, by doing brainwave training at BioCybernaut. And now I'm reaching out to you to invite you to come and be a part of the BioCybernaut adventure. Biocybernauts are to inner space what astronauts are to outer space. So come and adventure with us. And if you'd like to leave a comment on the videos, you can do that, or there's a link you can click if you'd like to learn more. We welcome you to BioCybernaut.